All right, so here I am in my dressing room with the beautiful Charlotte d'Amboise, who plays the character of Mrs. Mullins in our production of Carousel. And we had a chat the other day just outside of the door, and you were telling me this is not... Oh, let's tell that beautiful thing about your father.
Oh, well, my father, this is Carousel, the musical. And if anybody ever saw the movie of a Carousel, my father plays the barker in it who does the big dance number in it and dances with the young girl, and it's in the Dream Ballet, and he does like all these double tours. If you know any dance terms, he's pretty amazing, and he's kind of young and handsome. It's funny to see my father like that.
But I bet it is. I bet it is.
He's so awesome. But anyway, so he's the original in that, and so it means a lot, actually. And he came to the show last night and saw it.
He did?
Yeah, you didn't meet him?
No!
He was here last night.
Oh, I would have loved to have met him.
Yeah, he was out front. Everybody was coming to talk to him. He loved the show. Loved the show.
Yeah.
Loved you.
Yeah,
loved
what's not
everybody.
to love? It's a beautiful production.
So he actually really loved the production, and you know, he's got a critical eye, and he was really positive about it.
Awesome. Yeah. But you were telling me that this is different from what you normally do when we had the chat up the other day outside of the door.
Well, I usually have more of a... Well, I usually... Like, I don't sing in this show at all. I don't think I've ever done a musical where I don't sing. Actually, that's not true. Contact, the show Contact, I didn't sing in that. There was no singing in the whole show. But in general, it's a musical, and I'm not singing. I'm not even singing in the ensemble, anything. So it's a little strange for me, because usually I sing, and it's a very small... It's a smaller role for me than I normally play.
It's such an important part. I love you.
Oh,
I really love you. I practice your lines back here. I love when you say in that first scene, your services are no longer needed. Required. You bounce, see, and I say it with my dresser. You bounce, see, and I also love the line when you say, "Hello, Billy.
Hello, Billy.
I'm here to talk business." I love. Those are like my lines that I love. But so you're a singer and a dancer.
I am actually, and actually, how I got into the business originally was through dancing.
Yeah.
So it was. I sing. I'm not a great singer, but I sing, and I'm a good actress. I've learned to be better as an actress. But really, my dancing was what, like, I knew that was what was going to get you in the business, and it's that was going to get me the parts
in the door. Yeah.
In the door, like you have to have at least one thing that you're really, I think,
really good at.
Yeah. I mean, you have triple threats and other stuff, but there are a lot of triple threats, which mean you act, sing, and dance. But they're all good, but they're not great at one of them. Right. You need to be great at one of them to really, you know. So dancing was my in. Dancing was totally my in.
You started out, I mean, your father was a dancer, so
I started dancing as a ballerina at New York City Ballet in New York City. I grew up in New York City with my dad, and we were near Lincoln Center with Balanchine, and so I was surrounded by the arts and opera.
I want to ask you something. Sorry, I just thought of this now. Yeah. I'm on the board of the Kennedy Sound Honors. Maybe I'm not supposed to say this. And every year we have to nominate somebody. And I was just wondering if you knew of a dancer who hasn't won the award yet, who should be nominated.
Let me think about that.
Yeah.
But they should. But you know, my dad won the Kennedy Honors.
Did he?
And you can look on, if you look on YouTube, I danced for my dad at the Kennedy Honors. With
you're
my brother.
No. Oh my God.
Yes.
I'm gonna do that like right away.
You die. Yeah, my brother and I did a dance.
Your brother's a dancer too?
Yes. Yeah. He was a principal dancer in New York City Ballet and also did some Broadway.
Are you too? Or do you have other siblings?
I do. I have a twin sister and I have an older brother.
You have a twin sister?
I have a twin sister. Yeah.
Does she dance too?
No, we all started dancing, but she didn't pursue it. She just didn't have she was actually a really good actress, but she didn't have She went to one audition. She went to one audition, got sick afterwards, and said, "I don't have the stomach for it." You got to have the stomach for it. You know, I'm sure she tells you that there are lots of things that make an artist, and it's not only being talented.
Yeah,
there's a lot that goes with it.
That's where you start.
That's where absolutely. But then there's other aspects that, because I know there are a lot of talented people out there that just don't ever make it.
That's right.
You know, and you go, what happened to them, or why, or you don't know, you know, and it's a combination of a lot of things. So she didn't have the stomach to audition and be rejected, I guess, or have to put yourself out there. So she gave it up. But so my brother and I, Yeah, but let me think of a dancer that I feel like hasn't.
But so you started out in dance,
yes.
and then at some point you open yourself up to
yes.
acting and
yes, I started
singing.
dance, and I always loved like Judy Garland and Barbra Streisand and Broadway shows, and I always sang, and I just wanted more than being a ballerina. I wanted, oh my God, come on. There's a little tail. Hilarious. It scared me at first. It scared me. I was like, what? And then I realized it's a little puppy. Anyway, and then I realized that I wanted to do more. I wanted to act. Actually, acting was the first love. I just love, and to this day, I still love acting, and even dancing.
I think you're terrific.
Oh,
I really think you're terrific. I mean that so sincerely. Oh. And I love the scene, you know, when you come in after he kills himself.
Yeah.
And the way your face is, and the way your face looks. Like I see you just briefly after you get up, and I'm very, very moved by that, and I take that, you know.
Oh, thanks, thanks. I just, and even with dancing, it was always like, I never just like to dance. It has to be something. Like the girl, Abigail in the show, it's so lovely to see, you know, the two of them, because they're acting the dance. It's not just steps. It has to be something coming from a place, you know. And same with singing, and you're acting up a storm in this. It's great for you, no? Do you usually do acting roles?
Oh, well,
speaking
that's what I mean. Yeah. Well, hang on. So, but that's what it is. You know, what we do is we're singing actors and actresses, but oftentimes there is dialogue. You know, like a role that I've done a lot is Carmen. It's in French though, but there's a tremendous amount of dialogue. You know, tremendous. So there isn't always, you know, opera where there's a lot of dialogue. We have what they call recitative, which is the sort of sung dialogue.
Right.
That's very, very different. But no, I mean, you know, opera has really, really changed from long ago.
Right.
Where the soprano and the tenor would sing a love duet on opposite sides of the stage. Now they want to see characters who are authentic and who are believable, you know, in the parts. So that's happening more. But the competition, I think, also in the operatic world is fierce.
Yeah. Oh,
it's
imagine.
fierce.
Oh, I can imagine. It must be
it's
fierce.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it must be crazy.
So, you got to really bring
more than just a beautiful voice.
Please.
You know, right?
Yeah, that's what we're saying. That's where everybody's starting with a beautiful voice.
Yeah.
You know, and what else?
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah.
But in this broader field of, well, how do you classify yourself? In this broader field of like musical, musical theater.
I do musical theater, and I do movies. I mean, I've done acting roles in films and stuff.
Oh
I have, and I've done some TV stuff, and I'm always up for stuff. Yeah. So I do that too. But mostly I've worked since I was 18 on Broadway. I've been doing Broadway shows and just going. I don't know how the hell. I've been lucky. I've been very lucky. Really, I've been lucky, and they've done roles that I've been really right for, where it's a real. I mean, if they require a dancer that can sing and act, then I'm right up. There are a few in a handful.
Is that so? There are not so many that can do them all.
Not so many that
do it well.
Yeah, not, you know, or maybe they are, but that's the kind of the niche I get into, and they've revived a lot, like a lot of Gwen Verdon roles, Cheetah Rivera roles. So those, they've revived a lot of those shows, and I've gotten able to do them. So it's just worked out timing wise. Really lucky.
What for you would be like the most ideal thing? I mean, what would be like your dream?
Well, what was my dream role, and I actually did do it, but only for a short time, was Sweet Charity.
Shirley MacLaine did it, yeah.
They revived it on Broadway, and I was doing Chicago at the same time.
Oh, I can totally see you in Chicago.
Yes, I did Chicago Roxy.
I've
done it forever. Yeah.
Roxy.
Roxy.
Yeah.
And the producers were producing Sweet Charity, and they asked me to cover Sweet Charity because Christina Applegate, I don't know if you know her, but she's a TV person, was going to play Charity.
Married with Children at first, and then she's very, very funny.
Very funny. So she was going to play, and so they wanted me to cover her. So I was on Broadway doing Roxy, and I covered Sweet Charity. So when she was out, I would grab my wig and go down the street and play Charity.
You're kidding.
So I was doing two Broadway shows at the same time.
God.
And one time I did a matinee of one and an evening of another.
No!
Yeah, crazy.
How fantastic.
And I used my same wig because I like my wig.
Oh, really?
I know.
But thank God the theaters were closed. Can you imagine if one were, you know,
that
wouldn't have been possible had they been across town.
It's like, you're on, and the producer, you know, it was crazy. It was good.
And there was no confusion.
But that part I wish I had really gotten to be developed on me and gotten to really do it for a longer period of time. I really just went in when, you know,
why is it so great?
You know what? Because it's a really good acting role. That's why. A really good acting role. It's a really good part that you could really sink your teeth in, and also great dancing role, great singing role, great songs, all of it, but just a really good acting role. And it's a part that I just felt was in me, that was just me, and I just love doing it. And it was comedy. I love doing comedy. I don't do any comedy in this show.
Yeah, you're very serious,
I'm
very
so serious
and
in this.
heavy.
But I'm really, actually, I do comedy well. So I love doing comedy. So she's kind of a quirky character, funny. Roxy, actually, I get to do that in Roxy.
Yeah.
I get to play crazy, kooky.
Yeah.
Another side that you've never seen.
But so where do you go from here? After this engagement?
Well, actually, like you teach, I do a summer intensive, and I teach in the summer. So
do you really?
I'm teaching out of town and then in New York all the way until the end of August.
And
so
what,
I'm booked up.
What are you teaching? Dance?
We do a musical. My husband and I do a musical theater. Yeah, Terrence Mann. I don't know if you know him, but he was the original Javert in Beauty in Les Mis, and he was the original Beast.
Your husband was?
Beast.
I met him.
Yes.
Yeah,
he's
I
a
did.
Big Broadway.
I didn't know.
Terrence Mann is my husband. I met him in Cats, 1985.
Is that right?
84. Yeah, I met him in Cats.
And you've managed to be married and to have a family and to still do your very busy life.
Yeah.
Rats, they're calling us. Rats.
They're places.
Rats.
Miss Graves, they said her name. I mean, she's got to go. She's supposed to be on stage. I always panic when they call my name, because we don't do that on Broadway. They don't announce you coming. You're responsible for yourself. Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. So it freaks all of us out. We're like,
you just have to listen.
Your name. Yeah. You pay. It's your responsibility.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah. Completely different. Yep. Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah. I know, it's putting a lot of trust in us. Who would trust us?
Right. Let's talk again, okay?
Right.
Let's talk again, Charlotte. I love that.